Plaintiff Lorraine Johnson says the defendant is her niece, and they were always close, despite the fact that she got into trouble with the law and stole from family members. Lorraine and the defendant got a car together, but she's suing because her niece got tickets on the vehicle, then failed to pay them. Defendant Nicole Buchanan admits that she and Lorraine were close, but she claims Lorraine often wanted to get high before Sunday dinner. And Lorraine even took naked pictures of herself and showed them to her own children. Nicole is countersuing for the down payment on a car and emotional distress.
Start with you.
Me and my niece have always had a good relationship. When she was younger, she went to church with me. She babysat my kids. We've gone a lot of places together. So I've never had any real bad issues with her, even though as the years went on, she did have some issues come up in her teenage years where she was in trouble, stealing from family members, getting into trouble with the law.
From anybody.
Okay.
Her brother had a car, that she got a car in his name.
Without his permission?
I don't know how that happened.
Okay.
Really, I really don't.
There might not have been anything wrong with that then. If he
Well,
gave
when
permission.
they repossessed the car, excuse me.
Okay, she didn't pay it.
They didn't repossess the car was stolen.
She just lying on you left and right.
Soon the car got stolen, as soon as they got ready to repossess it and garnish his wages for him, the car mysteriously disappeared.
No, they didn't.
All right. Let me allow her to give some background and before we get into the parking tickets.
Well, first, Your Honor, me and my Auntie Rainey, as she wanted everybody to call her, but now she's just my mom's sister, Lorraine. We were close. We, every weekend at her house, going to church, out of town, just doing everything. But I had to stop going to church with her because I couldn't go to church with somebody and before we come home for Sunday dinner, you in your room trying to smoke a joint. I couldn't really get with that. Also, she's taking naked pictures of herself in her daughter's room, showing them to her kids, just involved
How do you know she's showing them to her kids?
Because I was at her house. We used to do game night at her house all the time.
And in the middle of the game, she come in there with naked pictures. Hey, let me pass one around. Let me pass one around.
No, what she would do is she told her son, go in my room and get them pictures so I could show Nikki my pictures. And he coming back, oh, you got to see this one, flipping through the book, which means he's familiar with the book. So he's seen it before.
No clothes on.
No clothes. None.
Is that true, man?
I don't know, it might be.
Okay. Good enough.
I don't remember, so.
I had to distance myself from going over there. She got all these different men coming in and out, men just younger than her she's dealing with. She has a daughter in high school. That's not a type of role model that you need for your daughter that's in high school.
Don't you pass too much judgment on how this woman should maintain her household. Now, I do have issues with the pornography that she's showing to her children. Let's get to the parking tickets you're suing for, ma'am.
My niece called me up and asked me if I would co-sign for her car. This was around October of 2008. And even though I was reluctant, I thought about somebody help me out one time. And I know she had just, been in some incident with the police and that she had just gotten this nice job. She seemed to have been doing well for herself. So I didn't mind helping her. And from 2008, around October, she paid the car note. I didn't have no problem, maybe a little late every now and then, but I've been late with my bills. So around September, I started getting these parking tickets because I didn't end up being a co-signer for her. We were co-borrowers. So all the way up to November of 2009, she was getting parking tickets.
They were in your name? How did they come to you?
Because my name was the first on the...
on the title?
On the title, right. Okay. My name is the first, so they used my address, so everything was coming to me. So I called her, approached her about the tickets and told her, Nicole, you need to take care of this, because they'll double.
What did she say?
She was like, Auntie, I will. I'm going to take care of it. And she didn't have to just pay me the money. She could have went and paid.
Has she paid anything?
Yeah, she paid me $80, like the week before Christmas.
All right, ma'am.
Well, she came to me, she told me there was parking tickets, and I told her, okay, I'll take care of it. I told her I could pay the whole thing right out when she said it doubled. And she told me, don't jeopardize yourself, financially. Just pay me in $20, $40 increments until you get it paid off. I said, okay, that's fine.
Have you done that?
Yes, I paid her the $80. The next time I was going to pay her, I fell asleep because I was on vacation. I went back to work, my early schedule, and I fell asleep because I didn't have my car. My sister was using it.
Fell asleep so you couldn't pay her money. Good enough. What else?
So It wasn't that I wasn't trying to pay her.
You're awake today, right?
Yeah, I'm definitely awake.
Right. You're gonna get your money today.
That's not true.
You're gonna get your money today. She's awake.
She's a compulsive liar.
Go ahead,
But then she took the car from me. So why should I have to pay it if you took the car? Because I didn't take her the money to pay.
And that's your counterclaim, $2,500 for the down payment
of my car, and then emotional distress.
Did she give you notice she was taking?
No, she came in the middle of the night.
And how much did you put down on the car?
$2,000.
And what's your emotional distress for?
For $500 because once she took my car, I had no way to get to work, no way to get around, period, to do anything.
Ma'am, tell me about taking the car.
Well, that last, she gave me the $80 in December. So 2 weeks later, I called. I was like, Nicole, you need to put something on these tickets so they don't double. You know, because I found out, which I didn't know, that in the city of Chicago, if you have one car with tickets, all cars in your name get put on the boot list.
You have that law?
Yeah, here in Illinois, right.
Okay.
So I have a car, and I got a good government job that I'm trying to keep. So when I get up in the morning and go to work, I can't have my car stapled to the sidewalk. And I need to be able to get to my job. So when she didn't bring me the money, I had to take the car because I didn't want to continue to get tickets on the car.
All right, I'm going to go and look that law up because that's an important factor in this case. I'll be back with my decision. All right, ma'am, you're suing the defendant for unpaid parking tickets. You and she signed as co-borrowers to finance a car for her use. The liability initially I thought would be hers, and if she didn't pay the parking tickets, the only one that would be damaged would be her because they would put the boot on the car in her possession. And you would have been guilty of illegal repossession. You can't take a person's car because the person didn't pay their parking tickets. However, since you were exposed to a significant amount of damage based on her actions, and that significant amount of damage being they would boot your car too, and that is the law. I looked it up, and sure enough, that is the law. They can put a boot on any car in your name, and that includes the car that you use. So I'm going to conclude that it was not an illegal repossession because you needed to protect yourself. I am going to order that you pay her the tickets because you do owe. Where's the car now?
I did a voluntary repossession and let the finance company take it back.
And
she never apologized.
And you probably owe a little money on that.
A lot. Over $9,000.
Ma'am, your counterclaim with regard to the down payment, you want your money back. Well, you're the one that breached the contract. You put her at exposure. You've cost her $9,000. I'm going to dismiss your claim for any refund of your money. $596 for the plaintiff. Your claim is dismissed. Have a good day.
I attempted to pay her back.
You ain't never attempted, Nicole. You lying. Okay.
So I give you $80 if I'm lying?
I've learned the lesson, and I hope she has
I wasn't trying to pay it back. $80. If I wasn't trying to pay it back, I wouldn't have gave you nothing.
Girl,
it just got to $500
you think I'm gonna turn down some money to pay some tickets? Girl, go ahead on with that.
Quit playing.
Man, walk around me. Girl, please.